events and experiential. The person you want to market to is always within earshot.
Yeah. Or you can see them.
You can see them, you can smell them, you can feel them if you're allowed.
Yeah. Why are events a key part of the marketing mix? Is because, like all marketing campaigns, you do not ever rely on one particular channel. That's why we insert the word mix. And events is a very unique, standout channel in the mix of tools that marketers have.
I'm trying to think of another marketing channel where you are stood next to the person you're trying to market to. Can't think of one.
No, there isn't one.
Digital, you're not stood next to them.
No.
Direct mail, you're not stood next to them. Let's call it advertising or whatever it's called, you're not stood next to them.
Social reach.
Social, you're not stood next to them. You might feel you are, but you're not stood next to them. Events and experiential. Person you want to market to is always within earshot.
Yeah.
I can't think of another marketing channel where you have the opportunity to ask them a direct question based on their facial response,
Yeah.
how they're sitting,
Yeah.
their body language.
Yeah.
So why are events a key part of marketing? They should be the major part of marketing, because that's where the real business gets done if you create your events successfully.
I regularly find myself laughing out loud at some of this kind of a glimpse into the future of events, and it always seems to be, these articles or this commentary always seems to be technology solutions based, and you see things where a tech provider will say, we've created this medium whereby X number of people in an audience can take out their phone and can submit a heart emoji or a thumbs up emoji, and it can appear on the screen. Amazing. Or we could just rely on an audience's appreciation through a round of applause.
Yeah. Or you
It's
could
mad.
go around individually to every person in that audience and go, did you like that session or not?
Yeah.
And they can say, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Then you go, tell me why. You get insight.
Yeah.
Tell me how much insight you get from a love heart floating up on a screen. All right, one person's pressed a button.
Yeah. It's almost as though the technology conversation is kind of overriding what is the most natural of human interactions.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this question, Mark.
No.
It's a kind of discussion question. We are asking ourselves, why are events so important in marketing or in the marketing mix? So the question that I've got is, do you feel that events are in competition with some of those other marketing channels? And if so,
Yeah, I do.
Who comes out on top?
I don't know the
comes out
answer
on
of who comes out. Well, I do know who comes out on top. I think events are only in competition with the other marketing elements because of cost perceived.
Okay.
So there is a perception it costs a lot to put an event on, which, depending on where you hold it, depending on how many people, depending on what you want to do, can be quite expensive. If you go to digital marketing and you're paying an amount per click, or your direct email marketing, or all those types of things, it sort of feels a bit more tangible. You feel like you are sending something out to 100,000 people. It costs you 8p a click. You can see what that budget is, and you think you'll get that back. With an event, you have to put a load of money aside. And you go, what are we going to get from this?
Yeah, and we've talked about that before, right? Understanding the value of your investment.
Exactly. So why do I think your question was around, are they in competition? The answer is yes, but I think it's from a price perspective.
Okay.
I think if you spoke to marketeers and you said to them, what do you think about events? They go, they're amazing, but it costs a lot of money to do them and a lot of time to do them. Time can be alleviated by hiring an agency to do it, sales. But it does take time for people within that organization to do it. But marketing is their job. So therefore it's an important channel for them. So I think the other marketing elements win generally because it's easy to sign off and it's easy to report upwards to a CMO if you are, or even a CEO to go, we spent this, we got this amount of return.
And there's instantaneous data and it's all in real time, which events still kind of struggles a little bit with being able to provide those same metrics. So I understand that. The next discussion point then is, okay, so if there is some competition, should there be any competition? Or let's reflect back on that question again. Why are events so important in the marketing mix? Should there be any competition? Probably not. Therefore, what is the importance of events being part of all of those other channels as well? Because perhaps they shouldn't just exist in vertical isolation. They should all be interconnected and working together.
Yeah.
That's why events should form part of the entire marketing mix, because they contribute to one another's success.
I'm not sure they're in competition. Maybe that's the wrong term to use. I don't think they're in competition. I think they're all part of a marketing plan.
Yep.
But I think if you have a budget of 1 to 500,000 to spend, someone says to you, you can do one event that's going to cost you 200,000.
Yeah.
And all the rest you're going to left 300. There's a bit of a psychology behind that. It's like, well, all these other channels, but I can only spend 300,000 there. That's taking up a huge chunk of my budget.
And so there'll be some scrutiny around that.
And events are harder to define as getting a return on as well. So, or the other one is in the events category, within that 200,000, there's also, we've got to go to 5 trade shows because all our competitors are there.
Yeah.
We can get the return from those because they zap a badge or whatever. But is that the right sort of return? It's not for me to tell people how to spend their budget, but I don't think it's in competition. I just think events can be seen as expensive until that golden nugget is, and it's also hard to track an event to a direct sale.
Yeah.
So marketing exists to create opportunities for salespeople to sell. The salesperson turns up at an event and the opportunities aren't there because you haven't got the right audience, or the event wasn't set up the right way to have the right conversations, or whatever it may be. All of a sudden it's like, well, why did we do that? God, we spent a lot of money on that. Right, let's just focus on these areas. So it's not competition, it just gets scrutinized a lot more because it's harder to show the value of it. We should be able to help our clients show the value of why an event should do it, with how they're measuring it. But that still needs the buy-in from whoever they're reporting to up there. And if they can't get that conversation at the right level, the bottom line is just going to look at the money and you're going to go, that's pretty expensive. The reason events are an important part of the marketing mix is it's your opportunity to get in front of your target audience or your customers or your potential customers and have informed conversations. Nowhere else in the marketing mix, and I keep trying to wrap my brain as to where that may be, can you do that.
Yep.
And when you get in front of people, I don't know the conversion rates, but it's more than likely going to be a lot higher than just hiding behind the digital world.